Since 1987, there have been a grand total of 67 officially licensed WWE video games released for everything from home consoles to PC, via arcades, handhelds, and mobile phones. And if you're a wrestling fan of any era, let's face it, you've likely poured a lot of hours into WWE games. Be it fighting your way to the WrestleMania main event, spending hours creating custom superstars, or indeed yourself, in Creator Wrestler mode, or turning heel on your friends with a steel chair, these games are just as big a part of being a wrestling fan as the shirts, the action figures, and the selfies with the wrestlers themselves.
So, to mark the release of WWE 2K18, we decided to take a look back over this long and storied history of WWE gaming and review every game ever released on home consoles, 42 in total, and try to answer several questions. Which was the best era of wrestling games? What was the worst WWE game ever? And do the classics we reminisce about still hold up today? Spoiler alert, they probably don't, but it'll be fun finding out.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Nay.
And this is 30 Years of WWE Gaming, Part 1. The first game to ever use the WWE license was 1987's Micro League Wrestling, which was, of all things, a turn-based strategy game released for the Commodore 64 and Atari ST. It was part of the Micro League series of games from Micro League Multimedia, which also included an officially licensed Major League Baseball management sim entitled Micro League Baseball. The presentation was as realistic as could be for the time, with text boxes providing interviews and colour commentary, and each wrestler had face or heel moves that they could select to score points on their opponent.
But as good of a turn-based game as this was, wrestling gaming was never going to stay this way for long. In the same year Micro League Wrestling came out, Nintendo Entertainment System was helping to revitalise the home console industry after E.T. had brought it crashing down in 1983. So it was only a matter of time before sports entertainment got in on the act. And in 1989, WWF made their debut on the platform with WWF Wrestlemania. And that's where we start our quest through WWE gaming history.
So this is WWF Wrestlemania on the NES. This is where our console odyssey begins. And we have this weird menu screen where apparently it's bigger, better, and badder than what?
I mean, it might be badder.
It might well be. Let's find out. So, let's get into our first match. WWF Wrestlemania. And here we go!
So the view for this one is like an open-ended ring, like they've taken out one of the ropes so you can see what's going on.
There's only 3 sets of rope. The ropes go off to the side, weirdly. Can I point out as well, Hulk Hogan kind of looks like an angry granddad storming up to, I don't know, some bloke who's double parked in front of his car.
He looks like Sainsbury's are out of copies of the Daily Express or something, and he's got to go to the corner shop now.
Yeah. I apparently need him in the shins there, and that sent him flying.
Sometimes it looks like you're hitting them and you're not, and then sometimes you're not hitting them and it looks like you are, so...
Yeah, like Macho's going for the cover, and he's got the win! He has got the win over Hulk Hogan. That's something that never actually happened. 0 out of 10 for realism there. So, do you want to have a go?
I will, I'll have a go. Here we go, Andre versus Honky Tonk.
This is a good matchup. This is very...
Andre's got the Mad Grandpa thing going on as well, actually.
He's also got the goose stepping thing going on.
I've gone pink, I've gone sunburned. He sort of nods his head down like he's going to headbutt him.
You just keep nodding and headbutting his elbow. Just button mash furiously.
I'm trying to get up.
Get up, Andre. Get up. I swear that was even a fast count.
What? This is a problem with some of the early games, is they are quite difficult.
This is from the generation of games where it was still in the arcade philosophy of, we're going to bilk you for quarters, so we're going to make the games really hard.
Even the home versions.
Yes, even the home versions that you all have already paid for. But that's the first one. On to the next one.
Hulk Hogan is a trademark of Marvel Comics.
So onwards we go to WrestleMania Challenge. This came a year after WrestleMania.
1990.
Added the word challenge to it. Swapped out Hogan on the main screen to the Ultimate Warrior.
Good to see.
And improved in every way on the first game. Wait, no, that last bit wasn't correct.
No.
Yeah, this one's actually worse.
They forgot to improve in every way and made it worse in every way.
First time you can play as...
yourself.
Yeah. Not a custom wrestler. This is not create a wrestler.
Can't customise the look of him, can't customise the stats of him. He's just yourself.
It's like having Invisible Man, or like question mark man, or the guy they use, you know, that,
off the street, man.
You know that faceless man they use when a title's been vacated. Like, who's the current holder?
Yes.
Abeyance. There it is. Yeah. So, we're going to fight as Vacant. So what I will say is they have Tag Match and Survivor Series. That wasn't in the first WrestleMania. But they're not really
No,
what they claim they are.
It's one-on-ones, and once someone loses, someone else comes in, so it's kind of useless. It's pointless.
Yes, which is
It's
why we're
just
going to do
more
it.
lives.
Which is why we're going to do it. Here we go. We're underway in a game that looks nothing like the first one and handles worse for it.
Well, it's important to note that it's isometric, which means the controls are now 8-way controls. So going like left is up and left. It's odd. It's difficult and it's odd, and I don't like it.
The controls for the first game were clunky as hell, and the collision detecting was clunky as hell. Oh, he got a 3 count there, but I kicked out. Did you see it? It showed 3
There
on the
was a
screen.
3 count.
He got a 3 count there. Macho's
It's the NES screw job.
Macho Man's just been screwed out of it. Right, is he going to get the pinfall this time? Yes, in 45 seconds.
You've been eliminated.
Yeah, in about 12 seconds.
Yes, it's the first one with the crowd in it, and it's got a few more wrestling moves. It looks like than the first one. The first one
that was a
very
drop
much
kick there.
just like to swing your arms about, kick them a bit. This one's got you can get up on the ring posts.
Yep, hang on, let's see if we can do that now.
Hey,
But there's a problem with that.
they run away.
Yeah, your opponent is never down on the mat long enough for you to actually hit the move, and when they're standing up, they'll just run away. I quite like the little energy meters on the edge of the ring. I think that's quite a nice way of incorporating it. What I don't like is the fact that the AI is fucking impossible. They're faster than you, and I'm not just saying that because Look, can we just point out here?
This one is very difficult.
I've not even hit... I didn't fucking hit him once! I know it's Macho Man, but seriously.
Shall I have a go?
Please do. Please do. And if you do any better, let me know.
It's so difficult to even get anywhere near your opponent because of the isometric view.
Yeah, like the collision detection and the controls in the first game were clunky enough. So what they've done is instead of improving that, they've made them even worse by trying to make it isometric, which was a horrible decision, and people at Rare should be ashamed of themselves even this many years after the fact. Because it kind of ruins the game. The presentation's better, you know, the ring, I like this angle of and you know, the crowd's there, like you said. You can get up on the top rope, you can't get out of the ring yet. But yeah, Andre the Giant just got squashed in about 2 minutes by Ed Leslie.
Here's the second member of our team who's going to attempt to do something.
So you're now playing as Beaver?
No,
or are you playing as the Warrior?
Ultimate Warrior, but he's so 8-bit that it's hardly even Ultimate Warrior, is it?
It's sort of...
It's the doing anything on this, like to even go left, it's down and left. To go just right, it's down.
It kind of reminds me of the early FIFA games, like FIFA Soccer 95, but except those were kind of playable, because you could still, you know, that was passing a ball around, and you could still...
Well, you didn't have to line yourself up exactly with someone who was also moving around in an isometric field.
Oh, he's firing up now. This
is Warrior's Hulk mode, which sounds
Hulk
wrong,
up.
but...
And it's still not enough. Beefcake just squashes the Warrior.
One more member of the team, and it's this...
Oh,
dude.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick Rude, yeah.
Who's not really... Beaver's barely even affected by the previous 2 bouts.
I'm being thrown around like a...
Are you now doing the Lex Luger selling?
Yes, there we go.
He's got for the pin. He's gone for the pin. You got a pinfall attempt.
I elongated the pin by accidentally pausing in the middle of it. Our entire team has done 3 things of damage while he's taken out all of our life bars. And that's it.
Is that us literally just giving up on this game?
Can we move on, please? I know it's early on, but this could well be the worst WWF game ever released.
We're 2 games in and we may have already found the worst one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you if we find anything worse. How's that?
Meantime, it can only get better from here. Please.
We are on to Steel Cage Challenge,
which was the first under new developers. The first 2 games were developed by Rare, and well, we saw how well they handled wrestling games.
Yeah, this one's by Sculptured Software, and interestingly, it came out after the first Mega Drive game, which we'll get to. But we're in the NES era, so this is after one Mega Drive game.
And for the first time, we have difficulty levels introduced. I don't really think it'll make
needed.
Yeah, much needed. I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever. But
might do.
We'll put it on easy regardless, shall we? And the Mountie. I'm gonna pick the Mountie. Fuck it. And what's the biggest jobber team we can form? The Mountie and IRS versus Sid Justice and Roddy Piper. We haven't got a hope in hell. And we are into it. Right away, the game's better because it's not isometric.
However, graphically, you'll notice there is a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah, there is.
That's because they were focusing on Mega Drive development, so they didn't really want to be like, oh, we've now back to 8 bits. What can we do with 8 bits?
So there is that. But I'll tell you what, this still looks good for the time. And I'd rather they have focused on the gameplay mechanics, which are much better.
Which they have.
What they haven't focused on is the sound design. I'll just let you hear some of the crowd. No, that's not the venue flooding with water or a nearby seaside. That is actually the crowd noise.
And the thing is, the hits as well, just like...
Yeah, let's listen to a hit here. Oh, Roddy Piper's tagged in.
It's like who's moved the fridge slightly. It's playable, and
it's
that's
very
a big
button
thing.
mashy, but this was the start of a system that Sculpture Software would use a lot in their wrestling games, which is, if I can show you, hang on, Roddy, there we go. So normally you press A and B, and those are strikes. So A is punch, B is kick. Mountie will show you. But then you also have, if Roddy will demonstrate, this kind of lock-up mechanic, which is where, and then you button mash, and then it's kind of whoever wins the button mashing duel does an actual slam or a wrestling move or something.
Which is
because
good, I like that.
wrestling. Let's see if we can demonstrate that again. No, he wants Sid Justice will demonstrate that. Come on, mash buttons. Yes, we get the kick out. The Mountie is still in it. This is one of the first games, I think, where you can go out of the ring.
Yeah.
So you can do that, but there is a problem. You think, I'll just get back in.
Not at the bottom, you won't.
Yeah, the top and bottom sides of the ring you can't get in, so you can only get in via the sides. That makes things a little bit tense. Get back in the ring. Wait, what are you doing? The Mountie just refused. Oh, I think it must be because it was still thinking I was trying to walk into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
So that's a bug. So well, I lost by a count out. That was the very chicken shit heel way of losing that match. But time for you to step up, I think.
Indeed. So, as this game's called Steel Cage Challenge, I'm going to go for a cage match from Glasgow, Scotland. I'm tackling the streak before it begins here in 1991, 92.
92, yes. I love that sort of random, like Superman dive that he randomly does every so often. Meanwhile, Nate's battle strategy is just to mash the A button over and over again. And, it's working.
And he's down. Right, go.
Run. Climbing.
Shit.
What have you done?
Shit. Go.
Fell off.
No, stop falling off.
What are you doing? Come on. And... there we go.
That's the winner.
Is Glasgow's finest. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
And some 8-bit bagpipes there.
And some 8-bag bit pipes there. And with that, let's move on to the next game. And so we come to our final NES game, WWF King of the Ring, which is a direct sequel to the game you've just seen. Although, if you didn't know that, you'd probably swear this was the game that came before Steel Cage Challenge.
Yeah.
One thing that is notable about the game is, just like Steel Cage Challenge introduced a Steel Cage match, King of the Ring introduces...
King of the Ring!
Hey! There we go. Technically, this is the first creator wrestler mode.
If we're going to be very technical, yes, it is.
Do you know what you can edit about this guy? You know what you can edit about you?
Your name?
Yes.
We're going to call it Nay.
You're a wrestler now, Nay.
Hooray! I've always wanted to be a wrestler.
So what you can change is the name and the stats. You can't edit the height and weight. So you're now 6 foot and 250 pounds. So you've put on some muscle mass since I last saw you, mate.
Yeah, well, we better give me some strength then.
Yeah, you're pretty dench. Any stamina at all?
No,
all those,
no need for that.
All those mighty meaties. They
zero stamina.
They're good for carbs, but so strength.
That looks about right. I'm a Hulk now.
So here we go. Nay, you've been drawn against Shawn Michaels in the first round. How do you feel of your chance of winning King of the Ring?
Zero, literally none.
Naught shot. Well, despite all of that mighty meaty carb loading you've been doing, for the muscles.
I mean, Shawn Michaels. It's Shawn Michaels.
It is, but you are Nay. You are mighty meaty. Believe in yourself. You can do this. It's time for the greatest upset in King of the Ring history. Let's do this.
What if Shawn Michaels won the challenge belt?
Let me stop you there, because I'm pretty sure this guy isn't Shawn Michaels. Is it me, or do the graphics look worse in this one?
They're worse. And
this doesn't even look like the same game series, which is puzzling. It's got the same gameplay mechanics, so the gameplay's still good, but the animations are weirdly slower. Like, I don't know what that was.
Is it
nice
they
slow motion
anti-gravity flight? Can I just point out I don't look like this in real life?
You don't wear green trunks to the ring, do you?
I meant my face. It's just it's scary, the face on this guy.
What, the fact there isn't one?
Well, it's
basically it's 3
dots.
pixels. 3 dots. Yeah, this is like a basic kid stick figure drawing. This may as well be. I will say the game's also quite easy because you can just button mash a lot. I didn't seem to get that sense with Steel Cage Challenge. It seemed to be...
It had a little bit of that, but the latter two are much easier because they have difficulty options that you can set to easy, so...
Yeah, I just...
ramp the challenge up as and when you need to.
Here we go.
1,
2...
Come on, ref.
3! The slowest count in history. Some old beady in the corner's like... 1, What comes after what?
It takes a while to even realise. It's like having a special guest referee.
Yeah, it's like having a special guest referee who's biased against you, and he's just like doing the whole. I'm not counting for you.
Oh, there's a pin. Oh shit! Come on, one.
Oh, I've been distracted. Hang on, let me just answer this text.
Oh, we get.
Ooh, I like this.
We get a few stats to add on.
Right. Okay.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah, this is good. Props. I'll give them this game. They've given something to it. It's just a shame we forget all of that by the time we get back into an actual match.
Yeah, it's so weird just to have the cold open of like, and it's match time.
There's no ring the bell, ding ding ding, or just anything. Why is he wedging himself?
Stop getting out.
It's like the waistline. It's like the waistband in his trunks come out or something.
He's killed himself.
And then
running pin.
Running pinfall.
Running pinfall. This is the most hilarious one so far.
It has comedy value. It definitely doesn't hold up. What is going on? Dick Kick City. Dick Kick City. Brian Zane is loving this right now.
Literally, he can't even get up. He gets up and he's put right back down from Dick Kicks.
Now he's trying to grapple his way out. No, package pile driver puts him straight back on the mat. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Well done, mate. Well done. On to the next round. What the fuck?
Straight in. What I do like is, do you see at the bottom where Bam Bam Bigelow has like his kind of avatar?
Yeah.
It's more detailed than his fucking sprite.
It really is. It really is. Then again, your sprite doesn't look like anything like your avatar,
but
given that you don't have a massive question mark on your face. You are the anonymous invisible man.
Getting cramp in my left hand.
As you repeatedly mash the B button over and over and over and over and over again. Here we go. 1. We've won the King of the Ring!
It was the final! It was the final!
It was the finals! Brilliant! Congrats to the new King of the Ring! Nay! So that concludes the NES era. It's on to the arcades.
Praise the Lord.
And the Meg.
We're done. We're done!
We now jump back in time a little bit to 1991, where the second generation of WWE Gaming technically started. You see, as the original NES kept rumbling on, its successor, the SNES, was already doing battle with a new rival, the SEGA Genesis, or Mega Drive to us Brits. By 1992, WWF had jumped in on the action and started releasing games for this generation. And we start in this era with WWF Super WrestleMania. Onwards into the 4th generation as we dive into our first Mega Drive WWF game. This is WWF Super WrestleMania. Let's do WWF Championship.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
This is basically the King of the Ring mode before King of the Ring introduced King of the Ring mode. So let's do that.
Who are you going to be?
I am going to be the British Bulldog.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to go SummerSlam 92 on this. We're up against Shawn Michaels. Button mash. Is my button mashing going to work any better against the AI? It's not.
We've got some of the sort of tie-up mechanics.
Yeah, like I say, the gameplay mechanics are largely the same as the ones on the NES. It's more graphics that are improved. Going to the top rope. And...
absolute silence from the crowd for everything.
British Bulldog. No one is into British Bulldog high-flying off the top rope.
Even himself.
He crashed and burned. No, I'm not having you pin me, mate. Come on. Yes! Kick out at 2.
What I do like is the palette swaps of guys with 2 fists in the air that just are constantly with 2 fists in the air. They're just like, yeah!
Yeah, the guys in the red shirts have 2 fists in the air. The guys in the blue shirts have sometimes no fists in the air.
And there's one in like a nude coloured shirt with 2 in the air. Like,
yeah, there's some guys.
swap.
There's some topless guys. They were trying to represent wrestling fans at the time. Just drunk, just like, yeah, waving their shirts around.
But that is basically it. There isn't much more to this.
There isn't really much more to it. This is an inauspicious debut, I think, on the Mega Drive.
I think Steel Cage Challenge was actually better than this.
Yeah, I think so. But thankfully, spoiler alert, they do get a bit better. So, into WWF Royal Rumble, which, as the name suggests, was the first game in WWF wrestling gaming history to bring us the Royal Rumble as a game mode. Now, this is interesting. One fall is a standard match. Brawl is basically a no DQ. So the only way to win is via KO. So you just end a guy's stamina until they're like, please stop beating my face into a pulp. I like this as well. It has a numbered system
scale,
for difficulty. Don't worry, number 1 will still be impossible. But
oh, I've gone with 4, so that's hilarious.
Oh, here we go. You are a masochist. Tonight's match: Papa Shango versus Bret Hart in a what? Is that like a sort of in a book?
1 fall.
One fall.
That I think it's supposed to be in a newspaper.
Ah, I see. Tonight's match set for 1 fall.
It does look like a book though. You're just reading Pride and Prejudice. It's like Papa Shank. Who? It looks almost exactly like Super WrestleMania.
It does, yes, but there is the addition of this kind of lock-up meter. The tie-up meter, yeah, so it kind of shows you more of an idea of who's gaining momentum in these lock-up contests.
It's quite difficult to gain any momentum with them.
Oh! Bret Hart not fucking around at all, just like power slamming you to the outside.
This game's so difficult because I can't win any tie-ups.
Well, you did select 4. I did warn you that even 1 was impossible.
4 out of 10. There's 10, and yet...
Do you dare me to pick 10 for the difficulty level for the Rumble?
No, because you'd just be eliminated.
In 5 seconds. To me, I think this is a good improvement over Super WrestleMania. They kind of take in, they kind of refined a bit more of the gameplay, but a lot of it's moot because it's so difficult. Yeah. That is a problem.
That's it. We've just lost in about a minute.
Wow. Nice squash match then, eh? Time for me to tackle the whole reason this game is named what it is. The Royal Rumble. Actually, my favourite kind of match type in WWE.
Not 10. Not 10.
10. 10. 10. Naught. 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 The narcissist takes on all comers in Royal Rumble madness. It's not just a Royal Rumble. It's Royal Rumble madness, brother. Straight into it. Lex Luger versus... Jake Roberts, I think? Well, that's the first time I've seen the lock-up meter go over to the player's side.
Yeah.
In this... Fucking hell, they are coming in quick. I love that it's literally like 3, 2, 3, 2, another guy, Literally, the ring just keeps filling up. There's another one. Here's Shango. I don't think I've ever outright won a lock-up battle in this game. I've just sort of drawn a lock-up battle. This is a strategy, by the way. Boing, and then... Boing. Endless body checking. Oh my god. Just out of nowhere, IRS literally just like one-handed. Well, that's it. That's all over. That also happens. Random eliminations are definitely a thing here. You'd just be minding your own business and someone would be like, no. But overall, I think the presentation's improved. The animation's a bit smoother. It's a little bit faster. I think it's a general improvement. So, can we expect a little bit more for the next one?
Maybe.
Let's find out.
So here we are with the coolest intro so far.
Yes, this is WWF RAW, obviously named after Monday Night Razor. Monday Night Razor. Yeah. No, the Monday Night Raw TV show. It's debuted January 11th, 1993. I'm just going to see just how badly I get beaten on 10. It's not going to last long, trust me. I like this very much, by the way. This little loading screen where you've got the announcer's booth and the guys wrestling on the screens on the TV, which is very cool. It's a lot better than the Pride and Prejudice setup from Royal Rumble.
Well, that's it. I think the presentation of this is much more like the sort of TV show presentation.
Yes, and we've survived longer than 10 seconds, so that's good. What the fuck has just happened? What the fuck has just happened? I'm running away. Fuck's sake. Oh my fucking hell. Physics be damned.
He's gone for the ref.
Why is he going for the ref? What are you doing? You pleb. Now, this might be interesting because apparently when the ref's knocked out, you can do some illegal moves, like eye rakes and stuff like that. So
do an illegal move, quick.
I don't know how, though. How are they any different to regular moves? Ow, that's not an illegal move, that's just a drop kick.
He's kind of fucked himself, though, because there's no one to count.
Yeah, I think I thought he was trying to pin us for a second. Oh, look, the ref's like, what happened?
The ref's back alive. Oh.
He's now sat on us. This is the ultimate ignominy. Well, you know, that's still a lot longer than I thought on 10 difficulty.
That'll teach you to set the difficulty to 10, won't it?
Very TV emphasis on this one. Obviously, Raw is the TV show for WWF.
I like it. It gives it focus as a game. Like the other ones are sort of like, oh, we've included the Royal Rumble, but there's other modes.
It's kind of like
dispersed.
We call it the Royal Rumble because there's a game mode called the Royal Rumble.
This is like, we call it Raw because it is Raw. I'm gonna take it down a bit from 10.
Yeah.
To 1.
A Bedlam brouhaha.
I'm
That's what this game.
Brouhaha match. I've heard of a Thunder Bastard. It's Tornado Tag.
It's a Tornado Tag, okay. What the fuck is going on? The thing that lets these games down, really, is that it almost doesn't matter how good graphically they are. And again, you know, they've improved in terms of presentation, and even the controls feel better of game by game. But it all doesn't count because the game is fucking impossible to play. You just can't play
the ref.
You can't beat up any of the actual wrestlers, so you've beaten up the defenseless ref. Nice, I see what you did there.
This is 1 difficulty, might I add.
Yes, this is 1 difficulty.
And we've hardly landed a shot.
And I know Owen Hart just flings you to the outside.
I've got the chair.
You've got the chair.
Let me in. Let me.
I think you can only get in around the side.
Oh fucking hell! I can't get back in. I'm trapped outside the chair.
Bret Hart got confused.
I can't put the chair down. Shit. Well, that's fuck that.
And Taker's just been pinned, so that was a disaster all round, really. I think if anything sums up the Mega Drive trilogy of games we've just played, it may well be that. I got some good news and I got some bad news. Do you want to hear the bad news first?
Go on, we'll hear the bad news.
We've got one more Mega Drive game to tackle. Good news, it's not on the same engine as these ones. It's actually based on the Mortal Kombat engine. So it's basically, you know what you just said about these basically being quasi-fighting games?
These are real
We're about to play a game that took that all the way. So this is the last of our Mega Drive games. This is WWF Wrestlemania, the arcade game. This literally is a port of an arcade game. So we're not expecting this to be any easier than before, are we?
No, we're not. And it's got a massive 8 characters.
Yes, the teeming massive roster of some people. So we have 2 choices of mode. So again, barely any game modes to play. Intercontinental Championship is 1-on-1. WWF Championship is 2-on-1, because as we know, every single WWF Championship match is a 2-on-1 handicap.
So I'm going to go with the Intercontinental, otherwise there's just no point, really.
So here we go. Straight into it.
Running into the massive
running
ring.
along an infinite, and Bam Bam Bigelow has just spawned through flames out of the floor. He's become Kane, apparently. Basically what this game is Mortal WWF Combat.
What?
Oh my...
Why?
What the fuck? I like the fact they don't even have a pinfall or anything. This is weird. This is like... Not really. This is just a fighting game with wrestlers. This isn't really even a wrestling game, you know what I mean? It's like Tekken had an unlockable wrestling ring arena that you can fight in.
Tekken's better than this.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, it's far better
Like
than
Mortal
this.
Kombat had a fighting ring.
We're saying it Mortal Kombat a lot because this was published by the same people, Midway.
Yeah.
So, Sculpture Software, obviously this was published via Midway, so I guess Midway were like, make us a Mortal Kombat game. And we're like, no, we make wrestling games. No, make us a Mortal Kombat. Fine, alright then. So, oh my god.
And the sprites are slightly digitized, like it goes full Mortal Kombat in a little bit, but...
Yeah, and it's a bit weird. Like, the animation's very fluid. I'll give them that. Oh, and every mode is a tournament. Everything is a tournament
It just
mode.
carries on. It's like Mortal Kombat,
It just keeps going and going. And every match is 2 out of 3 falls, because reasons.
Because Mortal Kombat
Because
is
Mortal
best
Kombat,
2 out of 3
yes.
rounds. This is more of a fighting game meets wrestling than it is a wrestling game. Raw and that was more of a wrestling game.
It's a fighting game,
yeah.
basically, let's be honest.
This has a whole thing of if you press a couple of buttons at once, it does some different moves, so...
Yeah, it was weird. I found that very fiddly. Like, if you try and do super moves, it involves pressing the B button, which is block, and too many times I just block. And I'm like, no, I want the... Oh, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
You have to kind of combo it with some stuff.
If you're good at fighting games, you'll probably like this.
Yeah, it's not bad, actually. To be fair, playing this now, I'm enjoying it more than when I first played it, so that's good.
You're enjoying it a lot more than I did. I was not... I don't know. Like, I like the style of it, but it also seems very basic. And this whole, like, it's Mortal Kombat with wrestlers. I'm like, well, I'm not very good at Mortal Kombat,
I don't
so...
like the stuff appearing out of nowhere, like the fish out of Yokozuna.
Yeah, and the fact that Bret Hart appears to be bleeding hearts. The massive comedy sweat puddles coming off the wrestlers. It is very goofy. It is very silly.
I quite like that, because sometimes wrestling is a bit goofy. And
It is, yeah. And to be fair, it says a lot about the previous games that this has done the goofy, silly aspects of wrestling better than those games. Oh, now you're into two on
now,
one.
what's weird?
Two
is
Lugers.
this is Lex Luger and Lex Luger.
Another Lex Luger.
And I think both of their falls count, so if one of them beats me up and the other one pins me, like that counts as a win for either of them. I have to defeat both of them.
Like I say, suddenly all belts are defended in 2-on-1 handicap matches in the WWF. I can sense some panic in your button mashing over there.
Although, if we can hit this guy, there we go, either of them will do.
In one of them.
Is this best 2 out of 3 though?
Again, yes. This is the only way to play the game. There's barely any game modes. There's no different match types. There's a very small roster.
It's not really replayable. Like, it's a bit fun, but in the same way that like playing through Mortal Kombat.
It is an arcade
is a
game.
bit
Let's
fun,
be
yeah.
honest. It's an arcade game for better or worse.
We're
to
gonna
be
take
honest.
our first loss.
To which Luger is it though? Bearing in mind that the WWF Championship, it starts as 2-on-1s right from the
I
beginning.
wonder if it goes to 3-on-1s if you can beat the 2-on-1s.
It does.
Fuck.
It does.
Fuck. You've got to be hardcore.
You've got to be hardcore. The
hardcore gamer, get good. They've got one more last gasp in them.
They have one more chance to redeem themselves, and it's our first game on the PlayStation 1.
So this is WWF In Your House. They're in your house, basically.
What, right? What, Shawn Michaels is here?
He's here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, Vader. How you doing, mate? No, not literally. This was just the name of a series of shows WWF did in around 95, 96. This game's in 1996. So we've got 3 modes. instead of the 2 from the arcade game. A whole 1 extra mode.
The King of Hearts, Owen Hart.
Also, I'm enjoying the fact this has actual voice acting in the game.
Well,
that is Vince McMahon on commentary, guys.
As it's a CD, they were able to put Vince McMahon
Yep.
and Mr. Perfect on commentary beside the matches.
That's
So
very,
there's
very
something
cool.
to
And I
look
believe I
forward
heard
to.
Howard Finkel as well doing the ring introductions. That's very cool.
This stage
Right
is based
off
on
the-
Owen Hart.
But it's the Hearts,
Heart, yeah, Hearts.
the Heart
yeah.
family, King of Hearts.
Yeah, it's that.
Right. Okay, so they
There's
decide.
power-ups in the ring.
Righto, so this just basically thought, you know all the goofy stuff from the last WrestleMania game? Should we do more of that? What the fuck? A card cannon?
And I have just lost. So
And you have lost. Can I have a go?
you can. I don't know if you
It
wanna,
won't last long.
I don't know if you want to change the difficulty. Oh no!
I'm fighting Owen Hart and me. I'm fighting Owen Hart and Clone Ahmed Johnson. Would like to point out. Oh. Well, I was about to point out I was about to beat Owen Hart, and then he did some fucking cheap shot, fucking bollocks attack, and just won. So
Best 2 out of 3. So
okay. And I've lost a quarter of my health in 1 hit. So
there was a guitar lick accompanying the hit, so it made it stronger.
okay, really? Does that mean if I brought Brian May to the ring alongside me, I'd be invincible? This is bollocks. This is bollocks.
It is.
This is bollocks.
Is it a contender for being worse than WWF Wrestlemania Challenge?
Yes. Yeah, I think it is. Now you're going for one more try.
go
He's
for
going for the
Warrior.
Warrior. And we're on easy difficulty this time.
Gonna go-
Intercontinental Championship 1v1.
Gold
And we're up against Goldust. Meow, 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 meow. No, wait, not yet.
Have you seen my big fist? It doesn't even play that well. Like, it plays okay because of all the special moves and everything. There's no real wrestling moves involved. It's like you kick them. That's not really specifically a wrestling move. I suppose the Irish whip is. It's not even a very good fighting game. That's the problem.
Which says a lot. So it's not a very good fighting game. It's an even worse wrestling game. And at the moment, even though you're doing better,
I'm not
still,
yeah.
still not any fun.
I'm playing this with like a really straight face of just, can we play something else?
You're playing this with the face of that painting that Yahtzee Croshaw likes to use in zero punctuation videos. Completely just emotionless, stony-faced.
This is potentially the worst game so far. I mean, the isometric WrestleMania Challenge was bad. This is definitely the worst in the Mega Drive series.
And it's funny, you're making the game look a lot easier now, but it's no more fun.
No, it's just I'm pressing buttons and things are happening. Hooray.
Yay. So why don't you make the next button you press the quit game button?
Let's have a look.
And we'll move on to something else. How does that sound?
Are you sure? I'm sure. I'm sure. Let's move on.
We are very sure, thank you.
As this era drew to a close, a new one was already well underway both in gaming and pro wrestling. In the space of 1 week in September 1995, 2 major developments took place. WCW launched their Monday Night Nitro show, kicking off the Monday Night Wars with WWF, and 5 days later the Sony PlayStation 1 was released in North America. Both would have a major impact on wrestling gaming. The former prompted the start of the now infamous Attitude Era in WWF and the rise of megastars like Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, and the latter paved the way for the 5th generation of console gaming, one which would see innovations like 3D polygon graphics and CD quality audio open up a brave new world of gameplay and graphics innovations. As we've seen, In Your House was an inauspicious debut on the new generation, but WWF would look to turn things around with the first game proper on the PS1, 1998's WWF War Zone.
Onwards into our 3rd generation of the video, and this is the first game in the 5th generation of WWF/E video games. This is WWF War Zone on the PlayStation 1, and straight away we start to see a few little familiar hallmarks that will... This is kind of like, tracing, a tree in its roots, but you start to see things that are familiar to modern players of wrestling games. I'm thinking that option 3rd down, we have a Creator Wrestler mode.
Shall we take a look at it?
Yes, should we do one of our quick Creator Wrestler challenges?
I think we should.
When we did our standalone SmackDown Here Comes the Pain video on the channel, we gave you 5 minutes. How long do you want here?
Well, I think there's a few less options, so we'll go with 4 minutes just to make it incredibly...
4 minutes. Okie doke. Right. You go on my first whistle. 3, 2, 1, go! He's hairy and dench. That is
Face 4. Oh, lovely. That's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Pink mask. That'll do.
That'll do.
He's a luchador.
He's Rey Mysterio's shredded cousin. He's got the Roman Reigns bulletproof armor there.
Right. Cool.
Those are some nice knee pads.
Moves.
Cheesemeister.
He's having Cheesemeister. Chops jam. I reckon Chops jam.
You figure this guy's gonna be a chopping machine. What are you calling him? Chopmaster?
Steve, hopefully.
Chopmaster Steve? 5, 4, Steve, 2, 1.
Yes!
Stop there.
Okay. Great.
Well done. I think Chopmaster Steve, he's a future WWF champion right there.
He is. Would you like to wrestle as him?
Yes, I would. Here we go, run away.
So the thing about this...
I'll tell you what I will say. This straight away finally feels like an actual wrestling game. I'm loving the crowd, by the way.
They are much
That
less
sort of
detailed
collection of
than
paint
before.
blobs assembled on a wall. We are leaving the ring. Thank you, Mosh. Oh, we've done a move. We've done a DDT. It's just no-sold it. But I gotta say, this is instantly like the most playable game we've had so far.
It's the start of modern wrestling games.
It really is. This is it. This is
War Zone
Genesis.
is the one, yeah.
This is it. Oh my goodness. We've actually got wrestling moves.
Before this, we had 2D fighting games that were pretending to be wrestling games.
That had a few moves in there if you were lucky. And then you had the Mortal Kombat clones, which were worse than Mortal Kombat. So this is it. This is where it all begins.
Modern wrestling games.
Yeah, it all starts right here. Oh, I'm stunned and groggy.
You are very.
He goes for the neck breaker. My God.
The falls count outside the ring.
Yes.
I think. It was the quietest counting ever.
I just heard only straight back up again.
3.
And he just politely walks away. There's Mosh there with his nice karate. Like, oh.
I think sometimes the refs do shout 1, 2, but it was just like.
It was literally just
2, 3.
Oh, was I supposed to be 3? Yeah, I just counted 3, mate. Do you want to have a quick match?
I'll have a quick match.
All right, let's go. And away we go. Rock versus Ahmed Johnson inside a steel cage. And my God, Ahmed is getting his ass kicked. He's figured it out. And he's climbing fast.
See you later, Ahmed.
He's not doing the wrestler. Back in. He got cocky.
Because I haven't damaged him enough, apparently.
Yeah, he got cocky. And a lock up. And a DDT. Which does nothing. Apparently the DDT is the shittest move in wrestling, according to this game.
No sell sit.
Jake Roberts would be pissed.
That's it. Why? I don't... Is it...
He doesn't want to win.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's climbing.
He's climbing, so we'll let him climb.
And...
Might as well just jump off the fucking cage. No,
he's climbing back down.
There's a close-up on his face. He looks like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He does! Oh my God! If you smell what Carlton is cooking. I think they'll do that for WWF War Zone.
Yes.
But I tell you what, this might be
Good
one
game.
of the... Yeah, good game. This is the first, unequivocally, no asterisks, good game we've seen in the series so far.
It's a really good start to the 5th gen games.
Yeah, this is a big step forward. Will it continue with the next one? Time to find out. So we take a detour over to the SEGA Dreamcast for WWF Attitude, which was released about 2 weeks after the console came out. We're in 1999. We're now in the heart of the Attitude Era, as you can tell by the name, really.
Yeah, interesting thing about this one, you can make your own pay-per-view. There's no preset pay-per-views, but you can name your event, select a match,
Interesting.
select a stadium, and set up all the matches that you would want on that card.
That's very
which is,
cool. I like
think
that.
the first time you can do that in one of these
And a
games.
career mode as well.
There is a career mode. Should we take a look?
Yes, why not? Okay, let's do our matches in there.
I think this is the first game with Edge in, and you know Edge is my boy, so I'm going to wrestle as Edge.
Get used to this, folks. He's not going to pick anyone else until...
Edge versus Christian was our first match at a house show. Now, an interesting thing about this career mode, I think it's the first proper career mode.
Yeah,
because
and it features house shows.
You start off with house shows, and then as you get better, I think you go on to the weekly shows.
The, Raw
and then you get onto the
SmackDown.
PPVs, which is basically all the career modes.
That's very
just
realistic.
With less story in this one, which is fine.
First time we get proper
entrances.
walkouts. Very nice. Do you want to do an impression of Edge's entrance?
You think you know me? See, I was waiting for the Metalingus, but that's a few years down
On
the
this
line.
day, you think you know me.
Anger is a gift.
Voice acting.
I'll bestow it on you.
Now, interesting.
Hang on.
The future of Christian is as bright as yours is dark.
That's brilliant. They actually got the wrestlers to record trash talk. Like,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
There's
Cool.
also a sort of combo system with moves. So you see the thing in the top, on the top left and the top right, the little thing that sort of lights up every now
Oh,
and then.
yeah, I see it.
So that's sort of like combo moves you can string together to do stuff, which is cool.
That is very
The
interesting.
moveset is a little bit limited in this one.
Yeah, that is a shame. There's a crowd are chanting. This is nice.
I think the chants also give you some sort of help in terms of you feel a
Nice.
bit better with the chants.
They help you with your babyface fire and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
When will Christian? He's got no health.
This is the
and he's
blood
still-
feud between the former members of the Brood. Well, one still is a member of the Brood, apparently. Oh, Razor's Edge powerbomb. That was nice. I love the selling noise in this game. It's brilliant. I love the fact they got all the wrestlers in to just record some lines. Like, do us some like trash talking. Yeah, I'm gonna beat you the fuck up. Can you also give us some pain noises? Okay. Ow. Ew.
Here we go. He's going for the pinfall. 0, 1, 2, 3. Technically, that's 4 because we counted 0.
Well, Edge wins by pinfall. Well done, mate.
It's not bad.
It's good. It's good. I fancy a match now.
Yeah.
I'll probably be a lot worse. Test of strength. Come on, go down. Okay, maybe not. Oh, and a low blow.
It looks
That's
better
a DQ,
than,
isn't it?
No, it's not.
When
When have you ever been DQ'd for a low blow in a game? There's not even a
the
referee.
rules, Nate, the rules.
There's not even a referee, for fuck's sake.
This is a straight singles contest. Should have been a DQ.
Are we
Although
on?
this is the Attitude Era, so the ref basically didn't give a fuck.
There is no ref. When will you realise
Yeah.
there's no ref?
Who counted the pinfall or not? Did Shane quickly run in the ring to do it?
You must accept.
I could remix that and make it into like a beat. I'm amazed the ref didn't call for a DQ earlier, but he is counting us out, so that's nice.
You might want to get back in the ring, really.
How do we do that?
Add all the buttons.
Get in the... No, Gangrel, what are you doing? No!
I think
He's
we're
going to break
gonna
the
count
count! No! He's going to break the count! Damn it!
Gangrel wins my count
you
out.
crafty sod. And now he's glitching out in the corner. Well, as his music plays us out, I think that'll do for WWF Attitude. On to the next one. So we're heading over to the Nintendo 64 now for our first game on that console, WrestleMania 2000. The first actually named after a specific WrestleMania. All the... You know, WrestleMania's been used as a name for a lot of the games already. This is the first one named after one WrestleMania in particular. Should we dive straight into a regular match?
Well, I was thinking about taking a look at the road to WrestleMania, see how that...
That's even better. I like your idea more.
Let's go for it.
And here's a quick look at the roster of art mannequins with faces stretched over them in rubber. Oh dear.
That's a picture of The Rock
Is this
stretched onto
Oddman-
someone who is not The Rock.
Is this Oddman Animations does wrestling? Look, oh my goodness. Tonight, Commissioner Foley wrestles Morph. But what I will say, the roster of blob people is quite...
Mr.
Oh my... So who do you want to pick for your
I only
road
got
to
The Rock.
WrestleMania?
I just love the way he looks.
Ah.
I think this is potentially the first career mode with proper cutscenes and proper explanation of what the fuck is going on.
I think so, yeah. This is the first time a career mode has actually been a career/story mode in these games. This week on Monday Night Raw, we have The Rock against Albert against Droz. Wow. This would be the equivalent now of Brock Lesnar going up against Heath Slater and James Ellsworth. One of the first times we've seen full proper entrances. We had that on the Dreamcast a little bit as well, but I also like the fact that the crowd appear to have taken inspiration from those Guess Who games. They're all just like,
popping up.
you look like you can flick them all forward and go, whee! Here we go then, fight! So what's interesting about this game is that there's no real health meters per se or anything like that. There's these attitude meters, which are kind of more momentum meters, I think.
Yeah, I think they're more closely tied to the kind of momentum meters of modern day, where you get a finisher from getting momentum.
Yeah, and we'd see that more in the PS2 era sort of thing.
SmackDown versus Raw love that system.
Exactly, yeah. So this is kind of where that whole mechanic began. Does it work though?
Is this the one where you can get weapons out of the crowd, or is that? No
Yes,
Mercy?
I think it is. I think it
it's
is.
No Mercy. Oh no, it is this one. There we go.
It is this one.
He's giving me a weapon, and I've. Handy. Thanks, Rock. That
Too good. He's too much of a babyface. He's like, no, I'm not going to win by cheating.
this is going to go on forever.
It is, yeah. Okay, I'm now taking over. I'm now controlling the Rock, and I'm
Adam's
running
got the
away.
reins.
And I'm running away. I do appreciate the comedy punching sounds. Very no holds barred, stroke ready to rumble. I approve of that. I wonder if this was one of the first games that had like a dynamic damage thing where you could like attack various parts of the body.
Potentially.
I think it was, because look, Albert's holding his neck. He's like, ow. He is selling that neck injury for all it's worth.
It's got some really kind of modern elements, even though it's blocky and clunky as fuck.
Yeah, so in some ways it's almost too far beyond its time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's way beyond its time.
It's got some ideas, but it doesn't know what
They're
to
not
do
fully
with them.
formed yet. Oh, now I'm selling an arm injury now. My elbow. I can't deliver the people's elbow because my elbow's hurt. I think where the gameplay is not very fast paced, it goes on. It sort of feels like it's dragging. Whereas you could have a 10-minute match in other games and it wouldn't feel like it was going on this long because it would be fast paced and stuff would be happening. This, it feels like everything's kind of happening underwater. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
And the match is over.
Yay, finally.
And The Rock made no attempt to break up that pinfall.
Let's
Because
see if
quite
there's
frankly,
any
he was
stuff-
bored at this match as well. So shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go and take a look at something else. Maybe an arcade game on the Dreamcast?
Yes, good idea. Nate, can I just stop you a second? Haven't we done this game already?
No, we haven't. It's not.
This is not WWF Royal Rumble on the Mega Drive.
No, it's not. It's on the Dreamcast.
There's another game called Royal Rumble that was released
it's
6
on-
years after.
And it's on a Sega console. Yeah.
Right.
I know it's confusing, Adam, but do try to keep up.
Okay.
So, interesting thing to note here: you can have versus mode and
Yep.
arcade mode. That's
Okay.
it. That's it. Those are the modes.
Why am I getting WrestleMania the arcade game kind of vibes?
Because you should be. On a player's edge, obviously.
Obviously. I'm going with Kurt Angle. Let's do this.
So yeah, you can tell it's an arcade game straight away by the character select screen, the countdowns.
The complete lack of modes and complete lack of roster.
But the good sort of graphical interface is goodish.
Right, and
Fun-
away we
fun-
go. Another Taz has come out. I just eliminated him about 10 seconds ago.
Very interesting feature of this game. Only superstars we eliminate count towards the superstars left count. So we're going to have to get our asses
So
in gear.
this Rumble could go on for about 20...
Indefinitely. Yeah. Interestingly, there is a countdown clock. When
Yeah.
we eliminate people, we get more time, like an arcade game. So if we run out of time, that's game over. The controls are kind of difficult as well. Like, there's not a real way to do...
It's weird. It kind of feels like the PS1 controls, but not. Like, not quite as... The Xbox just self-eliminated. What you're now seeing, with the fact that we've now seen Taz for the third time in one Rumble...
Hi, Taz.
is the roster is so small, it can't fill a 30-man Rumble. There's only about 10 or 12 people on the roster.
It's more than a 30-man rumble because it's 30 people we eliminate, so they
Yes.
don't count when they're eliminated by someone
So
else.
when AI wrestlers eliminate AI wrestlers, it doesn't count. Here comes X-Pac again. He fancies another go.
Which, to be fair, is something they could have changed from the arcade version. I get they need it for the arcade version to count time down
And to be
quicker,
fair,
but
in the original Royal Rumble, they just had a 10-man Rumble instead.
I've nearly been eliminated.
Oh, he's hanging on. Oh, he's gone. He's gone, by God.
So you can continue, luckily.
And time extended. There we go. It's back up to 3 minutes. Here comes Edge again, straight back in. Oh, and I've gone. I've eliminated.
I'm back in.
Matt Hardy's back in.
Now, can we get
again.
Taz v Taz?
There's some Taz on Taz action right now. Taz, help me out. Other Taz. Clone Taz. Yes. Tag team Tazzing.
I'm Taz.
Taz. Please, I want to eliminate anyone who isn't Taz, so we just have a ring full of Taz-eye. This is going on a bit.
Dear 3, 25 Tazes remain.
Day 3 of the Royal Rumble 2000.
Taz is in the ring with Taz and Taz.
Taz has just eliminated Taz.
Oh, Rikishi's eliminated himself. See you later, mate.
Even the AI wrestlers are getting bored at this point.
Fuck this, I'm out.
No, Matt.
No.
Don't break me.
No.
Don't delete me. No. Oh, it's just gone. I'm out.
You've been deleted.
I have been deleted.
You've left me to fend for myself. Make some witty observations while I fight for my life.
Witty observations. Some more witty observations.
I need pizza.
Is it bad that we're already thinking about finishing recording this game and getting pizza?
No,
Probably not a good
I
mark
don't
on the game.
think so.
This Rumble has gone on for 2 hours already, and we've still only eliminated 8 people.
The problem is, right, this game focuses on the Royal Rumble. That's the main mode.
It doesn't have enough wrestlers to fill a Royal Rumble. The mechanic where only superstars you eliminate counts towards the total is broken. It just goes on
This is the main
and
mode.
on and on.
There's no
It's the
career
Groundhog Day Rumble. You
Special,
just keep me hanging on. Rikishi's determined.
I was thinking, hanging on
He's
the
gone.
telephone. I'm gone.
Taz is gone. And I think so are we from this game. So on to our second and final Nintendo 64 game, WWF No Mercy. Now, basically what this game does is build on what WrestleMania 2000 did, which in itself was still using the engine from the pretty iconic WCW vs NWO World Tour and Revenge games.
Yes.
So you may be forgiven for thinking at this point, if the game was starting to look a bit raggedy around the edges by WrestleMania 2000, what could No Mercy do to improve it? Add ladder matches. That's how. What this game also did is bring back Create a Wrestler with a Vengeance. So,
Yes.
is it time to bring back our old friend Chopmeister Steve?
I think it is.
I think it is. Are you ready for your time?
I'm ready. I feel like there's more options here.
All right. Your time starts now.
Masks: Kane, Mankind, Akiman. No, it's a pink mask. I need.
You'll have to go with Akiman.
Right, they'll do. Akiman's fine.
He's now sponsored. He's now Chopmeister Steve as presented by Akiman. It seems to me like a lot of the Creator Wrestler assets are just assets from wrestlers already in the game.
Yeah, who's even like dressed properly in this game?
Good question. It was the Attitude Era. No one was. Go with jorts. Go with John Cena jorts.
His head is just the strongest thing in the world.
Okay.
He's allied with these people. That's a cool system. I have no time to use it.
Time is now.
So I'm thinking Chopmaster Steve wants a ladder match.
Does he now? Let's go to someone who likes a ladder match. Yes.
Edge?
Yes.
There we go.
Mainly because I want you to wrestle against him for once. Here we go then. Let's do this. They've really kind of worked on kind of slimming down and refining the core gameplay, which is impressive given that the game engine for this was about 3 or 4 years old at this point.
Yeah.
So it's gone through about 3 or 4. This was the 4th game using this engine, and it's doing all right. It doesn't feel as dated as WrestleMania 2000, which is weird.
I think the attitude meters go up pretty fast as well compared to
they seem to have made it so the attitude meters go up a lot quicker in this game. Maybe that helps with the pacing of the game, because as we found out in WrestleMania 2000, the matches went on forever.
Right, now, hey, ladder physics.
The ladder physics were not polished too much. This may well be one of the first times.
Edge is blooded.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I love the fact Edge is literally bleeding from his heart.
Right, okay, here we go.
Go. Sit down, mate. Go on.
Right underneath.
Go on, Shotmeister. Is he going to do that? Yeah, he's going to climb it really slowly as every wrestler does.
Come on, Shotmeister, you can do it.
It's funny how wrestlers who are used to running around at a million miles an hour in the ring
take it.
Suddenly
get it. No! Oh! He's gone down! He just rode the ladder all the way down. There is some fun in the other games. This is the first one I felt like, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is definitely the better of the 2 N64 games, I have to say. It's improved in some areas, so it's a better game. And they tried to introduce ladder physics. They didn't work, but they're entertainingly janky, so it's fine.
And I think you can finally play around a bit. Like, you think, I wonder if I can do that. And you can.
Yeah, you can be a bit more creative with your gameplay, which is kind of the whole point of wrestling. You know, you can do all sorts of wacky shit if you want to.
Now got a broken dick.
Oh! Pummel his penis flat. Oh, he's groggy on the outside. He's selling.
Go.
Look at this. He's dazed. He doesn't know. Now he's taunting, but he's trying to get back in the ring.
Yeah, tap.
Oh!
I've had enough of his shit.
I've had enough of your shit.
See you later.
These highly conditioned. Oh!
Face first.
Face first into the turnbuckle. Does Edge not want anyone to win this match?
Tell you what, I'm gonna go out of the ring so you can climb the ladder, Edge.
Yes.
How about that? Climb the ladder.
Keep doing your 5-second pose.
Whenever you feel like it, climb the. Don't come to me.
Okay, so there are issues with the AI. I think we're working that out.
Edge is dead, actually. So
Edge is actually now dead. You've left him with his head caved in into the steel steps. He still isn't selling. The immortal Edge.
I think we'll leave that one there. We'll be back with the 2-player ladder match.
Yeah, BRB in a minute. Right, so now we're in a 2-player match. I am wrestling as Chormaster Steve, and you are wrestling as...
Dean Malenko. I've got the ladder.
Thank you. I'll just take it then.
Hold on. Let me
no, where am I going? No, I just went through your crotch.
For fuck's sake, Chopmaster.
No, my turn to sandbag. Come climb with me. Let's climb.
Up the top, and then B.
And B. Oh!
Bye.
Fuck you!
I just decided. That's enough ladder.
Oh, shittest frog splash of a ladder.
Do you want Steve to be the champion? Go on, Steve.
You're going to heel turn on me, I know it. Go on, he's going to get it. He's got the brief. He's got the briefcase.
And he's dropped it immediately. He's done a Michael Bisping. Have your fucking briefcase.
Overall, pretty fun game. This is easily the best of the WWF Nintendo games, and it brings to an end this era. By 2001, the Monday Night Wars were over, and with it largely went the Attitude Era. In its place, WWE launched their own brand split between Raw and SmackDown, and even went as far as to have separate games for each brand developed by separate companies on separate consoles. So in episode 2, I'll become the SmackDown General Manager, Nay will be drafted to Raw, and together we'll do battle in WWE Gaming's very own brand split. Subscribe and lock in for episode 2 of our WWE Gaming retrospective.